Welcome to our Lebanon channel. Msilha Fort is a medieval fortification situated north of the city of Batroun in Lebanon. The current fort was built by Emir Fakhreddin II in the 17th century to guard the route from Tripoli to Beirut. The fort is built on a long, narrow limestone rock near the Nahr el-Jaws River. Its walls are constructed with small sandstone blocks quarried from the nearby coast and built onto the edge of the limestone rock. The thickness of the walls ranges from 1.5 to 2 meters, 4 to 6.5 feet. The larger limestone blocks are the only remains of an earlier structure probably built for the same defensive reason. The fort is approached through a narrow path and small stairway cut into the northern side of the bedrock. A small platform precedes the low-arched main gate, secured by 2 loopholes and a small opening in the ceiling above the entrance. The main gate leads to a vaulted vestibule, followed by a narrow triangular courtyard, giving access to a small 1 meter (3 feet) wide passageway leading to the archery room of the west tower. The more elevated part of the fort is accessed through the east side of the main courtyard. A doorway leading to a hall, followed by 3 vaulted rooms, gives access to the eastern tower. Citadel of Raymond de Saint-Gilles. Citadel of Raymond de Saint-Gilles, also known as Qal'at Sanjil in Arabic, is a citadel and fort in Tripoli, Lebanon. It takes its name from Raymond de Saint-Gilles, the Count of Toulouse and Crusader commander who started its construction on a hilltop outside Tripoli in 1103 in order to lay siege to the city. Later, Raymond enlarged the fortress, which he named Mont Peregrinus, Mountain Pilgrim. The original castle was burnt down in 1289, and rebuilt again on numerous occasions and was rebuilt in 1307–08 by Emir Esendemir Kürgi. Later the citadel was rebuilt in part by the Ottoman Empire, which can be seen today, with its massive Ottoman gateway, over which is an engraving from Suleiman the Magnificent who had ordered the restoration. In the early 19th century, the citadel was extensively restored by the Ottoman governor of Tripoli Mustafa Aga Barbar. Sidon Sea Castle. Sidon Sea Castle is a Crusader castle and one of the most prominent sites in the southern city of Sidon. During the 13th century, the Crusaders built Sidon Sea Castle as a fortress on a small island connected to the mainland by a narrow 80 meters long roadway. The island was formerly the site of a temple to Melkart, the Phoenician version of Hercules. The beauty of the castle can be seen in old illustrations of it, however, after bearing several wars, it has been damaged and renovated several times. It was partially destroyed by the Mamluks when they took over the city from the Crusaders, but they subsequently rebuilt it and added the long causeway. The castle later fell into disuse, but was again restored in the 17th century by Emir Fakhreddin II, only to suffer great damage. Today the castle consists primarily of 2 towers connected by a wall. In the outer walls, Roman columns were used as horizontal reinforcements, a feature often seen in fortifications built on or near former Roman sites. The rectangular west tower to the left of the entrance is the better preserved of the 2. There is a large vaulted room scattered with old carved capitals and rusting cannonballs. A winding staircase leads up to the roof, where there is a small, domed Ottoman-era mosque. From the roof there is a great view across the old city and fishing harbour. The east tower isn't as well preserved and was built in 2 phases. The lower part dates to the Crusader period, while the upper level was built by the Mamluks. There has also been evidence of the old Phoenician city being buried under the sea in the area surrounding the castle. Structures of walls, columns, stairways, remains of buildings, statues and cisterns. Musa Castle. Musa Castle is a castle between Deir el-Qamar and Beit ed-Din in Lebanon. It was built single-handedly by Musa Abdul Karim al-Marmari, born on July 27, 1931, a Lebanese visionary. It is the work of his life. He needed 60 years, 21,900 days and 394,200 hours of work. According to his biography, as a student, Musa has always dreamed of building such a castle, and used to doodle his dream on pieces of paper in class. Musa was not a very sharp student and his teacher Anwar used to make fun of him and tell him, "You'll never accomplish anything." Musa's crush, a Lebanese girl, used to say that she wants to marry a guy who owns a palace. Between 1951 and 1962, he prepared everything to fulfill his plan, including buying the land and paperwork. In 1962, his work of life started. He built the castle and handcrafted each of its stones and clay animated figures representing different scenes of the old Lebanese village life of the 19th century, making it a true work of a visionary and a masterpiece by all means. Byblos Castle. Byblos Castle is a medieval castle in the town of Byblos, Lebanon. Originally a Phoenician stronghold, the castle was built over a white limestone cliff along the Mediterranean coastline of the town. It was built by the Crusaders in the 12th century from indigenous limestone and the remains of Roman structures. The finished structure was surrounded by a moat. Saladin captured the town and castle in 1188 and dismantled the walls in 1190. Later, the Crusaders recaptured Byblos and rebuilt the fortifications of the castle in 1197. In 1369, the castle had to fend off an attack from Cypriot vessels from Famagusta. The Byblos Castle has distinguished historical buildings for neighbors. Near it stand a few Egyptian temples, Phoenician royal necropolis and the Roman amphitheatre. These are testament to the varied and rich history of the town of Byblos. Beaufort Castle is a Crusader fortress in Nabatieh Governorate, southern Lebanon, about 1 kilometer (0.62 miles) to the south-southeast of the village of Arnon. There was a fortification on the site before it was captured by Fulk, king of Jerusalem, in 1139, and construction of the Crusader castle probably began soon after. Saladin captured Beaufort in 1190, and 60 years returned to Crusader control. In 1268 Sultan Baybars captured the castle. The castle was named Belle Fort, or Beau Fort, French for beautiful fortress, by the Crusaders who occupied the castle in the 12th century. Its Arabic name Qal'at al-Shakif means Castle of the High Rock. Shkif is the Aramaic word for high rock. Beaufort provides one of the few cases where a medieval castle proved of military value and utility also in modern warfare, as its late 20th century history shows. In the 17th century Farq al-Din II took the castle as a part of his network of fortifications. Farq al-Din II was defeated by the Ottomans, who destroyed the upper portions of the castle. The area was ruled by feudal families until 1769. In 1782 the governor of Acre besieged the castle, captured it and destroyed many of its remaining fortifications. The Galilee earthquake of 1837 caused further damage to the structure, and from then on the ruins were used as a quarry and a shelter for sheep. In the 17th century, Farq al-Din II took the castle as a part of his network of fortifications. Farq al-Din II was defeated by the Ottomans, who destroyed the upper portions of the castle. The area was ruled by feudal families until 1769. In 1782 the governor of Acre besieged the castle, captured it and destroyed many of its remaining fortifications. The Galilee earthquake of 1837 caused further damage to the structure, and from then on the ruins were used as a quarry and a shelter for sheep. The outcrop Beaufort occupied overlooks the Litani River. The river flows past the east side of the castle, which stands atop a 300 meters (980 feet) cliff which declines steeply to the river. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.